Happy Tuesday, everyone. We are going to be doing some dynamic mobility for our hips, back, and a little bit of our shoulders. I hope you guys enjoy it. You won't need any equipment, so it'll be just our body weight. Let's get started. If you have, I guess the only thing you need to be a clock or watch so you can kind of follow along with this, but we're going to start off on the floor. We are going to be doing kind of a 90-degree rotation with our hips. So think of your feet being about shoulder width distance apart. You're then going to roll both feet to the right. You want 90 degree, 90 degree. We're going to start our watch and we're going to rotate to the opposite side. Now, if you have the ability to keep your arms up and off to the side, that will be good. If not, you can always place your hands behind you and focus on bringing your legs to the ground. So this is a 90-90 hip rotation. This is nice and easy. We're doing a minute of this. We're looking for internal rotation of that one leg, external rotation of the other leg, and then we switch. Again, if you have the capacity to bring your arms up, that's fine. If you feel like you're moving forward and decreasing the angle, that's fine. You can always adjust and push yourself back or create more space. Now, this does require a good amount of stability to stabilize your body, but also ability to rotate and get flexion and extension, or internal rotation, external rotation, excuse me, of your hips. So we're about 10 more seconds in, looking to just get those hip rotations for the hip joints. Good. From here, we're gonna come down to the ground. I'll show kind of at a 45-degree angle, but you're gonna come down to the floor. You're gonna bring 90 degrees from your shin to your thigh, arms off to the T. You're gonna rotate, knees coming down to the side, coming back up, and then rotate down to the other side. So we're looking to relax the head on the floor if you can. We're just doing this for a minute. Clock is already running, 20 seconds in. This is gonna help our back, but also a little bit of a torso stretch. If you wanna go a little slower, you can go slower, but the intention is to try to keep the shoulders on the floor while you rotate from side to side and kind of hitting one butt cheek and then the other butt cheek. Good. Focus on that core, being nice and engaged. You're kind of bracing, but also rotating as well. We have about 15 seconds. And if at any point this is too much, then you can just take a break at the bottom, hold, pause for a couple seconds, and then come back. It will require a little bit of core strength to lift the lower legs up. Good. And last minute, we're gonna come up. Good. So this time, we're gonna come back to that 90-degree angle. We're gonna think of that pigeon pose. So that front leg is what we're focusing on here. So leg is in that 90-degree angle. We're gonna come down, fold ourselves close as we can to the floor, and then come back up. We're gonna spend 1 minute here. You can even walk those arms forward, hold for a second. So this is kind of a modified pigeon. You can always extend the back leg out if this is too much for you, but the intention here is to bring ourselves to the floor and come back up. You should feel this in the outside of that front glute. So think of the left glute, left hip. You can always extend that back leg long if you want a little more stability, and coming up. So dynamic pigeon, if you want to call it, on the floor, kind of a 90-degree angle here, but I walk the arms forward, both arms or just one arm, and then come back up. This is going to target our hip and our glute, as well as of our quad a little bit. Good, and then we're gonna switch. So you can just switch the legs. Same thing, similar to that first stretch of the 90-90. Get that 90-degree angle and then fold yourself forward. I can feel that my right side's a lot tighter. My knee kind of comes up. If you feel like it's not comfortable, extend that leg out a little bit and then just come to your leg versus coming past your leg. The intention of this dynamic mobility for our hips is to slowly increase that range of motion by getting into a deep stretch and then coming out. Getting into that deep stretch and then coming out. 30 seconds in. So focusing a little bit more on the hips today. Like I said, we do the back. We're gonna do a little more for the back and some for the shoulders. Good. As you want to feel more comfortable, you can reach arms forward or get into that deeper stretch, depending how you feel. Again, that back leg can be nice and long or bent like I've demonstrated. I definitely feel a little bit tighter on my right side. Again, we started on the left, but you're more than welcome if you're doing this on your own to start on the right as well. Good, and slowly gonna come up. We're gonna pivot on to that tabletop position. So our tabletop position, leaving hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we're gonna do some cat-cow. So I'm gonna think of tucking my chin, and as I tuck my chin, I'm gonna roll forward into my shoulders, and then I'm gonna roll back, pushing my butt to my heels, and then I'm gonna come back to that cow. Then I'm gonna roll forward into the shoulders, and then roll back into my hips slightly. So a cat-cow, we've done these before, exercises for our back, but now we're doing dynamically for the shoulders and wrists. So think of pushing through the shoulder blades, roll forward, hold, and then roll back. Come back to center. Midline is neutral, and then we extend into that cow position, roll forward, and then roll back. Now, if at any point you want to stay in a position longer, you totally can. Or if you want to go a little bit faster, you can. We have about 5 seconds left. It's up to you. Good. We're going to come back down to the ground now. We're going to go back similar to what we did before. We're going to get to a nice long leg position with the right leg. Left leg's going to come up. We're going to pull it into our chest. And then we're going to pull it across our body into a stretch. Then we're going to come back to center. Pull it across our body. Rotate as much as we can. And then back to center. So we're focusing one side on the left leg. If you want, you can even extend that left arm nice and long, palm up or palm down. You're rolling, getting to a spinal twist, and then coming back to center. As you come back to center, you can even pull that leg to the side a little bit to get a little more of the inner thigh stretch. So a minute here, rotating. So think of it as like a laying down twist, but now we're just adding the dynamic component to get a little bit more movement, range of motion, increase the blood flow. Mobility is so important. I highly recommend you guys doing it before and after your workouts. After your workouts can be a little more of a static pose if you want, but before the workouts can be a little more dynamically like so. Good, and let's switch. Same thing, opposite side. So start by pulling the leg into the torso, and then twist, come across, leg or knee to the floor, opposite arm off. Obviously you can't see my hand right here, but it's out to the wall, and then I come back to center. And of course the plane's gonna fly by, so it might be a little loud. Come back to center. Go about 20 seconds in. Again, if you want, pull that leg off to the side a little bit more of an inner thigh stretch. Pull it into our body and then across the body. So getting a little bit of that spinal twist, a little bit of stretch in the inner thigh, and also a little bit of stretch in that shoulder as you release the arm off. The intention is to get a little bit of everything as we do the stretch. 20 more seconds. You're more than welcome to stay here a little longer if you want. Hold for a couple seconds and then come back. Up to you guys. 10 more seconds here. If you guys love these videos and you want to see more, just hit the notifications bell and subscribe to stay tuned. If you want more than just mobility, feel free to check out my app. The link will be in the description below. Good, now that wraps up that last minute, that 1 minute. Now we're gonna come to a tuck position. This is gonna be for our back. Hands are at the base of the knee. We're gonna pull our legs into our body and then release all the way down, soles of the feet on the floor. Bring the legs up into that tuck and rotate. So we're working range of motion here for our lower mid back and our hips as well. If at any point this is too much and you can't lift your hips off the floor, just bring the knees in as much as you can and then back down. So the hands by the base of the knee give a little extra assistance, give a little tug. If you want a little bit more, you can even bring the legs up, extend the legs up over behind you if you want. That will get a little more of the hamstrings. It's up to you, but if not, stay here. These are part of my back exercises that I incorporate into my routine. I'm working on trying to get range of motion through the joint of the vertebrae, but also warm up my lower back and hips. After that final minute, we'll come up, and that will wrap up today's mobility with Margaux. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to comment below on what you like the most. If you want to see more dynamic, or if you want to see more static stretches, I want to offer a blend of anything or everything, to you guys, because I want to make sure you guys have the option to see other exercises and tools, whether it's a foam roller, a lacrosse ball, or even bands. I hope you guys love this video. Again, if you want more, check out the links below for my app. It's $1 for the first month. And first 30 days, and you'll have more than just mobility, but also other exercises and programming there for accessory work and workouts. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned and watching. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, but I will see you guys tomorrow for another mobility session, and maybe Entropy will join us.